This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports and Chaco. We're delighted to join with the new IBO light heavyweight champion, Padraig McCrory. How are you, mate?
Morning, I'm very good. Back to work today, as you can see, but I had a wee nap there, which was very nice.
I was sort of going to touch on the fact that you probably haven't had much sleep probably since Saturday night. That I guess you went to Germany full of obviously ambition and drive that you're coming back home with victory, but like you've been non-stop pretty much ever since. Does it still sort of feel like a dream to you?
Yeah, listen, it's like from the Fed, it's been a bit of a blur, a bit of a like sort of like a whirlwind. We went to Frankfurt on Sunday, and we had plenty of beers and celebrations. But when I got home, um, it's been great. The support that I've received from the community and stuff, it's been very good.
I guess it's that realization. I guess after a couple of days, it's like anything when you have a bit of success, it's obviously a massive success that you've had. You're obviously going to have everybody obviously wanting pictures, and for a few days you just have to forget about sleep and everything else and just live in the moment because it's not very often opportunities like this come, particularly obviously with somebody probably in some ways I had a lot of hard times in boxing. I can remember the early days of fight cards falling through and you weren't signed anybody, and your Devonish knockout pretty much got you that, your knockout got you that opportunity. It just kept going and going and going. And like even over a year ago, remember your Jermaine Brown fight obviously had to get pulled off because of your knee. Like,
Yeah.
do you think that now you're the ABO champion of light heavyweight, not even your own weight class? You just have to pinch yourself and go, what's going on?
No, yeah. There's been a few ups and downs, but as I think I've just stuck with it. I've persevered and tried my best. As I said, I came home and as I said, like the support's been amazing. People looking pictures, like that's all part of it. Like I enjoy that. Do you know what I mean? It's the more people that see me, the more people like will want to see me fight again, which is what we need.
Like I could see the rawness of you last night as well. Obviously, doing the homecoming and the Devonish,
Yeah.
you could see that sort of that you weren't designed for sort of these big nights of celebrations. You're just a normal working class person, so you're back to work and stuff already. You don't like these sort of celebrations. It's the sort of nerves that sort of come with it, but I'm sure it was enjoyable at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think it's a case of not liking them. I'm like I'm kind of like shy by nature. Um, and then when I seen like the amount of people about, like just to see me, like they got the Davnish and the cameras and stuff there, it's very humbling, eh, and it is enjoyable. But like my nature, it kind of makes me stick the head down a bit and sort of and I don't know, like overthink it. Like
I guess it's still that sort of realization that's happened. Like, I want to sort of touch on the fight because I guess going away to Germany, obviously your opponent's hometown, your ambition always was that you were going there and you were going to let your hands do the talking. On the sort of the fight as well, I guess you probably hadn't had a chance to watch it back yet, but you probably remember big moments in it. Like I think the first round, sort of he was hitting you with a jab. He'd sort of bloodied your nose and stuff in the first round, but when you landed in the second round, did it sort of just feel like was this just the start of it? You felt this is your moment.
yeah, listen, I watched it back. We had a 2 hour journey to the airport on Monday, so I sat and watched it. And the first round, yeah, he's fast hands, so he came out. He started well, and he and he was using his job well. But after like halfway through, I felt really comfortable. I was able to fight with my hands around my ankles. Um, and and from from kind of from about 90 seconds in the fight, I felt like I was going to get to him.
Did you need that sort of moment, the sort of relaxation, the sort of the belief? Because going into a big fight like that, I'm sure the nerves, we've obviously seen your ring walk and stuff like that since. you'd such an army and stuff there, but them nerves of knowing that you're in a big fight, did you sort of need a moment early on to relax yourself and compose everything that you're going to do?
Yeah, probably. Like, obviously, I don't fear getting beaten boxing. I like my fear is I feel like if I ever do, I like I'll be letting people down. So that like that's the extra pressure. And knowing that like I brought so many people like to Germany like to watch me. I didn't want to win and and not perform because obviously like, getting there like, it wasn't cheap. So yeah, it's get like landing early and seeing I'm feeling comfortable in there. Like it was a big relief as well.
And obviously the third round, like, you know, I know that you've obviously said since and stuff as well that you believe in the third round should have been stopped. It was so one-sided. Even at the end of the third round, obviously you knocked him down early in the third, and like at the end of the third round, he went into the neutral corner. You know, obviously I know that a lot of people would be similar that it should have been stopped then, but for you yourself, obviously at that stage, it's obviously tough as a fighter because when you're seeing the downfall of your opponent and then the fact that he was concussed that bad, he didn't even know where his own corner was. Were you probably fearful of, you know, I know in the fourth and fifth, you probably seemed to relax and sort of, you know, you'd emptied the sort of tank in the third round as well, but were you sort of fearful of any more damage? Could obviously have been, you know, catastrophic, obviously, on your opponent that you didn't really want to make things 10 times worse for him.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, like my aim like is to win the fight. But like I've said this like many times, like I always hope that myself and my opponent like leave the ring safe. At the end of the day, boxing is a sport. Life, like it's much more important. Um, at the end of the third, I was surprised that it wasn't stopped. So again, it was my job just to go out and get the win. I put a lot of energy in the third. I beat him up for a good 2.5 minutes. So listen, it's a big fight. It's a title fight. It's in his bank. It's in his backyard. So I think the ref gave him like nearly every option and on his corner to try and get back into the fight. But yeah, I think it probably should have been shot or sorry, stopped then.
What was sort of D saying to you obviously at the end of the third round? Was it sort of the fact that maybe this guy's so durable, he's going to last through this, and maybe the worry for you probably was if you have to think that much that because he's a hometown fighter, he's going to bank rounds easier, knowing at the fact that your energy levels are sapped. Was it just the fact of slowing down and composing yourself again and looking for that one opportunity?
Yeah, I think we took like round four off, like nearly off, but I still felt I don't know if like to win the round, but I didn't do as much. I didn't go out looking like for the knockout in round four. Um, I came back at the end of round four then, and I was feeling good again. And and then the plan then like from them was they started to just like walk him down again, and then we caught him a few big shots in round five, and then round six like was the end.
The short right hook done it again. It's the same punch that obviously stopped Paraban as well.
Yeah,
It seems to be another new punch. I guess it's a new punch that's been added to the arsenal. It's sort of the short right hook is obviously still having enough power, but it does not much damage. They always say the punches you don't see are the ones that do the most damage, and that was the one that finished it off.
yeah. It's actually it's a shot that me and D have been working on. Um, and he said and agreed that like the power that I got in such a short space, he said that it'd be enough like to hurt anybody. So yeah, we started leading with the right hand sometimes because of his high guard. It was like we found it like it was a bit, like a sneaky shot which caught like him off guard because like no one expects it. So once I touched him like with the right hand at length, I knew I was able like to step in and catch him like with the same shot that done the damage in the last fight as well.
It was pretty much just like a wee slip to the right, and then you just
Yeah,
send it home. I guess
yeah,
probably more than anything, I've always slagged you in the past for obviously jumping in the ropes in your celebration. You nailed it, did he?
yeah. I done it before and it's like it hasn't went like too well. I done it actually against Gorkov at the Fela, and I missed the ropes, and I I watched it back, and Dave Cobble like was laughing his head off. So slightly embarrassing, but I made sure that I stuck the landing this time.
I guess you didn't want to do a Julio Caesar in the definition, obviously end up over the top of the ropes, so
No,
you
no way.
nailed it to a T. But I guess, celebrations, obviously, anybody that knows you knows you wear your heart on your sleeve and everything else. Them celebrations, I'm sure, that'll stay with you forever. Obviously, that in that moment when you knew that you were the champion.
Yeah, it was a moment like sort of full of many different emotions, but most of all joy. And it's something like I remember because when I looked out, I seen like my friends, my family, my wife, and like my mum and dad and whatever. So it was a special feeling.
And I believe obviously Wasserman Boxing obviously now as part of the contract have the option in your next fight. You've obviously spoke to me previously, obviously at the fact that you want to be on the Conlan Geoffrey card in December. How likely is that to be? Is it just a case of seeing how you sort of heal and sort of, I guess, when you can get back into the gym as well and start training?
Yeah, I've a few wee niggles that I was dealing with anyway through camp, and they flared up during the fight. So um, I'm meeting with Conlan Boston tomorrow with Jimmy. We're going to talk about that. Obviously, in the contract, Wasserman they have that option, so they may or may not like want it to be on the 10th of December. But I'm sure there's ways around it. And again, like I would love to be on that card. I love fighting in Belfast. The Odyssey Arena is a special arena. That's where I made like my debut as well. So yeah, if just obviously it has to work for the show as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm at the stage now where adding me to a show isn't only like a couple of pounds. You know what I mean? It's like we're at the stage now where I go in as the massive part of the show, and it needs to work for Conlan Boston as well. So my aim is to hopefully fight on the 10th of December.
We've always talked about it because obviously we've been very friendly and stuff over the last 5.5 years, but we've always talked about obviously getting these moments, getting away from ticket deals and earning purses. And now it's the stage now where you're earning, as we sort of talked about in your last interview before you went, it's now getting the opportunity now to pay off your mortgage and everything else. So it's money talks now. It's how much are you giving me? You
Yeah,
know the business side of it. It's how much am I getting for this?
yeah, like obviously pro boxing's a business. I when I think my very first interview, I said if I was able to pay off my mortgage, I'd feel like it's a world title for me. So yeah, we're getting this days now where it's like it's very achievable. And yeah, like let's see what the options are. Like I know there's been a few people on to Conlan Boxing already about making potential fights, and it's something that we have to sit and discuss.
I guess, I sort of talked about it in links for the last couple of weeks, over 30s, I know when we spoke to you as well. Did you, like, Anto Cacace started the whole trend off, Dennis Hogan, obviously 37, you now at 34, I think a combined age of 110 between the threes.
Yeah.
Did you feel any extra pressure, obviously, to keep that, becoming the third king of Ireland? Did you feel any more added pressure to that to keep the train going, or was it just business as usual, keep focused?
Yeah, I didn't let it play a factor. It was great to see the lads do that, and I took like inspiration like from what they done, but pressure no. I in fairness, I felt fairly relaxed walking to the ring. And I knew that I had to do a job in Germany, which is never easy for anybody. Um, but I got it done, and now the over 30s are at the very top of the tree.
You're going to have to obviously practice this signature a bit more now as well. Obviously, we've had you signing things before, but you're now more of an inspiration more to even more kids because obviously they're seeing you having this massive success. I guess now you're becoming more of a role model, obviously, particularly in West Belfast. But how excited, obviously, are you for the future, knowing that obviously what you've achieved so far? Are you ready to take these opportunities and obviously have these big nights in Belfast?
Yeah, I don't think like winning the IBO belt is my ceiling. As I've gone through my career, I've got much more confident, and I feel like I've got a much better fighter. And I think I'm capable of competing with with the top boys in both divisions. Um, yes, we will like time's gonna tell. Uh, as I always say, I just take one fight at a time. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, and it's been a technique and something that has worked well for me.
Ideally, obviously, I know now that light heavyweight's not your weight class. If
Yeah,
obviously, the decision's put to you and where you want to go next, I know the belt's vacant at 168 as well, so you could obviously become a two-weight IBO champion. Where
yeah.
ideally would you like to be? Do you still feel, even at 34, I know you're still young and fresh in the game,
Yeah.
but do you still feel that obviously 168 is achievable, or now that you've done it as an extra weight, I guess an extra £8 can obviously help make a difference as well?
I think I made weight a bit too easy, like a light heavyweight. But again, it's totally down to the options that I'm given. I felt really big in in the ring. Bun is a natural he's a light heavyweight. It's the weight he's boxed at his whole careers, and I felt like I was big enough for that, like with him. So it leaves options. It's good that I was able to move up in my first fight and get that opportunity and get the job done, because it opens so many doors. There's going to be people that maybe are top of the tree at light heavyweight and see me as that sort of as the target, because I'm not a true light heavyweight. So yeah, listen, with if they want to fight me, they gotta speak to like Conlan Boxing, and I'm sure that we'll get the best deal possible.
I guess the fear for everybody is obviously you're now in 5 straight knockouts. You knock them out with the left and you knock them out with the right.
Yeah,
I know I'd sort of said hit him with the left so many times, we're begging for the right.
yeah,
But that fear comes into it as well. That you're no longer high risk, low reward. You obviously now have the reward. So
yeah,
obviously you're high risk and high reward. So people that's turned you down in the past will now be going, we've missed our opportunity now, probably because the wheels keep turning. It's now more confidence is built in you that they might see you now as too much of a threat to them.
yeah. Listen, I'm I'm taking these like steps up, and I'm putting people to sleep. So we're just going to keep going, um, and I'm I'm gonna see where it goes. Listen, I gotta say, the people that maybe s- said no like in the past, um, uh, people that like have said no will now be looking like for them fights, and if the offer's right and the money's good, like I'm happy to fight any one of them.
Definitely. Well, listen, we know obviously you have to go and do the school run now. Obviously back to porridge, as they say, but obviously want to
Yeah,
thank you for obviously catching up with us. I'm sure we'll obviously get catching up with you in person very, very soon.
yes.
Congratulations once again,
Well,
success. We'll speak to you soon.
thank you for the support. Boxing tickets and I, good stuff. Appreciate it.
Cheers, buddy. Take
Thank you.
care.
Bye, Morty.
Thanks. Bye
Good to hear from
bye.
you.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
bye.